Peace, love, and light, guys. What's going on? It's your girl, Crystal. You already know. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Plant-Based Chronicles. So, Tea Time with Crystal. We're going to be talking about dating in 2022. Okay. I got my hibiscus, ginger, and burdock fruit tea, as well as some cantaloupe that I'm going to be munching and sipping on during this segment. Okay. So, first and foremost, hey, loves. I hope your 2020 has been great. Excuse me, 2022 has been great so far. We're in October. Few more months until 2023. First and foremost, get your homes in order, okay? Make sure you have extra everything on hand, and that is extra food, extra water, extra clothes like cotton clothing as well, underwears, women, feminine products, hygiene products. Just make sure you have extra on hand, okay? If your money a little tight, get what you can get. What's most important on your list, okay? Because with everything going up, inflation rising, the dollar is not really, you know, doing a thing like it used to do the thing. At the end of the day, I'd rather get it now and have it before the prices explode, okay? I just got this funny feeling that they're going to explode, so you could receive this message or you could stand still and do nothing and just let it happen, okay? But that was side note, okay, love? So I just want to talk about dating in 2022, and this is like a tea time storytelling John, I guess. um so dating in 2022, this year, me personally, I haven't really been dating. I've been more so focused on my business and my goals. Like, I have certain goals that I wanted to achieve. I had certain goals and a vision that I put out for myself to basically achieve. And I told myself, if I'm going to be dating, I'm going to date more with intent. I want to date with intention. I don't want to just go on dates to date. I don't want to just play around with my time and my energy. Like, I want to have some type of longevity in a dating scenario that could lead to possibly a relationship or i.e. marriage, you know. That's where I'm at in life, you know. And everybody's in different spots, and that should be respected, right? So I took the initiative to not really date. And also, I had to look within myself to see where I had room for growth at, right? So sometimes it's important for you to know who it is that you are and know what it is that you want, right? I say that because when you have that mindset, you're going into the situation like, all right, let me truly be open, get to know this person, see if we vibe well, whatever the case may be, right? So a lot of people come at me on a physical. Granted, guys are very physical, right? But I feel like if you be more intentional, open, and honest about what it is that you want, and not only be open and honest about what you want, but also follow through with those actions to make a person see that, then a connection could go further. And I feel like that's with men and women, right? Also, to not have expectations. Understand that you're meeting a stranger. You guys are just getting to know each other. Be open to getting to know this person. Don't have any expectations. Don't have any expectations for the date, how it should be, how you want it to be. Allow it to be how it is, right? Allow the person to be how it is. You come as you are and see how that operates between you two, right? I say that to say this. Nobody be doing that. Nobody be doing that. I ain't gonna say nobody. A small percentage of people do that. A small percentage of people actually be real, verbalize what it is that they want, what can they do, what they can't do, if they ready for a connection, or if they just want to sleep with around, or whatever the case may be. A small few people do that. Some people say, oh, I'm looking for the one, but then don't put any type of actions behind trying to get the one. I feel like we need to date intentionally more so in life, instead of just dating to be like, oh, I got a warm body next to me, or oh, me and this person has been, you know, talking, just smashing. It's not the person that I ideally want or want to be with, but since they're around, why not? You know why? Because you're giving yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice by doing that. At the end of the day, you're selling for somebody because they're just the moment, instead of selling for this person because they are what it is that you are ultimately looking for, right? So I feel like people should just date more with intent. Just be real about what it is that they want. And honestly, don't get butthurt if someone tells you their truth. Look, I like you, you're a cool person, but I don't see this going further. I feel like that should be respected. Even if you did vibe with the person, if you like this person, but they gave you that, and then at the end of the day, thank them because they didn't waste your time any further. Thank them because at least they was open and honest with you instead of just straight ghosting you and make you really feel a type of way. Or make you trying to chase after them or beg after them like, hey, what's going on? I haven't heard from you. Hey. Right? So dating in 2022 is a crap show. Marriages are failing left and right. And I feel like it's because people don't take the time to really get to know themselves, know their partners, and accept change when it's due. You aren't going to be the same person you were probably a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. It's a 7-year cycle. People tend to change. We grow. We experience different things. So with longevity relationships like that, I feel like that person needs to be more open with the differences that might occur within their connection. So it's a lot of turmoil around relationships in general, whether it be long-term relationships, marriages, or just dating. It's just a lot of turmoil, and it's unfortunate, right? So let me tell y'all about my story time. Let me eat this real quick. All right, so I'm gonna figure out where to put this at. All right. So my story time, right? All right. So I'm at the store with my nieces. Guy kind of following me around, trying to have small talk. So I'm a nice person. Small talking with the boy. We talking. He told me he was vegetarian. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm vegan. Had that conversation. So he asked me for my number. So nowadays, I'll just be real kind of like, should I give you my number? Type of energy, right? Just because, like, that's access to me, right? But then you have to be like, all right, if the conversation was cool, I'm open to getting to know this person a little bit more. So why not? So, because that's like, I am open. Like, even though I date intentionally, I am still open to getting to know you to see if anything could even transpire from it, right? So, anyway, so I give him my number, right? We text a little bit that night. So, like, I think I asked him, like, he kind of basically, like, brushed off, like, I don't want to have small talk. But then I'm like, okay. What you want to talk about then? Because how you going to get to know me if you don't have small talk? Like, you ain't really asking me about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the conversation is kind of like surface level, but you don't want to have small talk. Okay, so what's up? So he said something about, asked me something about, he like, all right, forget all that. Like, are you a chill person? Are you a homebody, right? So I was like, yeah, I'm chill. I could be in the house, but I also like to be out. Like, I go on vacations. I like to go out. Like, I enjoy going on dates, enjoying shows and things like that. Being treated like a woman's supposed to. Because, when you date yourself, man or woman, You know how that feels. So I could go on a date. I take myself on dates. If you don't want to take me on a date, that's fine. I'll take myself on a date. Like, so I'm that type of woman. So I'm not looking for a free date from nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel as though, like, if you're interested, you need to show your interest. You know? And that's a two-way street. Yes, true. But that's what it is. So, he didn't reply. And he didn't reply to me for 3 days. He left me on red for 3 days, right? So I was like, okay, your number getting deleted. Period. That's just what it is. Like, I was like, oh, okay. After day 3, I just said, all right, well, delete. You know, I understand life happens. I understand things come up. But when it comes to texting, I feel as though maybe a phone call that could be probably misconstrued or missed. But when it comes to texting, we all see the text. We all see the text. And you could be busy. But that 3-day gap just let me know that obviously I'm not somebody you really wanted to talk to. I'm not somebody that she was really that interested in. So I deleted his number. So then my rule is if I delete your number, if your number not saved in my phone, then I'm like, who this? You know what I'm saying? For real. Because you have to have standards with yourself. You have to put standards in place and boundaries in place. I feel as though sometimes a lot of things get brushed under the rug because we don't have boundaries and we don't have standards. We need to let people know how they are to treat us. And that's just real. You can have different rules. You can be very lenient or not, but you should have boundaries and you should have standards. And that's just on everything. So he ended up texting me like day 4. Hey, answered the question that's already deleted out my phone, and then said, he said, my bad for not replying, my bad for the late response, laugh out loud. And I'm like, ain't nothing funny about that, but it's all good. Delete that message, right? You already deleted out my phone, so delete. So then, like, I'll say a couple days later, he had hit me up and he was like, hey, I hope you didn't forget about me. So I knew it was the bull. Mind you, he not saved in my phone. So I was like, do I want to entertain this or not? So I was like, because I'm very intuitive. I usually just follow my first mind. And if it just don't seem right or sitting in my spirit, I just be like, you know what? No thanks, you know. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I judge too harshly. What I'll do is I'm gonna give him a chance of redemption. So we had a conversation. So we was conversing, and it was still like surface level. I kept feeling like I'm trying to pull from the bull, like I'm trying to get more information. And then in this conversation, because I didn't ask him the first time, I was like, are you single? Because, you know, it's ways that people move that might not be single. And he was giving me those signs, right? So I was like, are you single? And make sure you guys do ask people if they're single nowadays, because people be in straight up relationships still trying to talk to you, and that's real. So he dodged that question and asked me, are you married? And was any of those your kids? Mind you, we already talked about the kids before, and I said they were my nieces. So he's like, are you married, and were any of them your kids? I said, well, damn. Like, I asked you if you were single. You straight ignored my question and went to that. So then he just said, I'm not married, and I'm looking for someone that I could date solely to become married, right? Not solely. He said, I'm looking for someone that I could be with, get along with, and ultimately the goal is marriage, right? So I said, cool, but are you currently single? And he kept avoiding that question. And I'm just like, this is a red flag right here. Then going to say, I don't answer questions like everyone answers questions. I answered your question. I said I'm not married. I'm like, my eye twitching a little bit at this moment, because I'm just like, all right, you know what? They get smart. Well, do you need me to repeat that? No, you don't have to repeat nothing, bro. At the end of the day, you said that you ain't married. I could comprehend. And then he was like, I'm like, the reason why I asked straight up is because people be in relationships and still seeking. So I'd rather you straight up tell me yes or no. And if you're lying, it was asked. You know what I'm saying? So he like, well, at the end of the day, you could be single and still sleeping with whoever you want to sleep with. And then in layman's terms, you're quote unquote not single because you have an energy that you're dealing with here and there that could possibly be seen as being someone you with. And I'm just like, why is this getting this? First of all, he's like, I'm just saying it all right now because that's going to be the follow-up. If I say, yes, I'm single, then you would say, well, who you sleeping with? Because possibly if you and I talking, then you would be the person that I sleep with of interest. What? I'm like, hey, yo, if I could put the little meme joints in here, it would be the black bull with the question marks. Like, what? My dad, what? What, bruh? What? I said, hey, yo. I just said, I got you. Left it there. I got you. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. I'm like, at the end of the day, it's not that deep. Me and you just getting to know each other. I wasn't going to ask you who you were sleeping with because I don't even know you. I don't know you from a can of paint or anything, right? I really kind of deleted your number, bro, for real, for real. Like, so I was just seeing if you were single. You know what I'm saying? I feel like deeper in a connection, that'd probably be something you ask if y'all really chilling, and you possibly want sex or whatever the case may be. So I was just like, this is crazy. See, I knew I should have just followed my first mind. So I said to him, I said, well, look, I am single. No, I do not have any kids, nor am I married. And I said, I am living a healthy lifestyle. I live a healthy lifestyle. I date intentionally. I don't date just to date. I date intentionally because I'm looking for longevity. I like clarity, and I am not here to play any games. And I said this statement to him. That kind of went over his head because then he went into something else. Whatever, the statement was said, right? So fast forward the next day. I'm running my errands. He decided to call me FaceTime. And I hate when people call me FaceTime. You text me first and see if that's okay to hit me up FaceTime. I don't know. Everybody like that FaceTime feature. I'm not really a big fan. And if I am FaceTiming you, look, let me know that we about to have this one-on-one meeting, okay? And I'll let you know if that's cool or not. Because I could talk to you on the phone all day long. Not really all day long, but I'd rather talk to you on the phone versus FaceTime. I understand somebody like FaceTime, people like FaceTime, cool. But let that ask first. Don't just, I feel like it's so invasive. Ask first, okay? Anyway, so I'm like, I'll call you regular. So I called them and I'm like, what's up? And he like, oh, nothing. I was just out all night doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. Good for you, bro. Okay. I'm like, you hitting me up asking me at 9 o'clock in the morning, what am I doing? And I hate that WYD text. I don't like it because I be wanting to say, why? What's up? like I feel like the what you doing should be followed up with an action. Like, what you doing because I want to see you, or what you doing because let's link up. Something like that instead of what you doing, or get what you doing to death. I can't stand that, yo. Who else can't stand that? What you doing to death, right? Anyway, so I'm like, I'm running errands. I'm on a boulevard. I'm running errands. He like, oh, where at? I'm about to pass such and such. So he like, oh, okay, I'm turning around. What? So I'm inconveniencing my day now to meet up with you. So I said, all right, I'm going to just meet you at this spot. So waiting for the bull to get there, like 10 minutes. Or whatever, 10, 15 minutes, waiting for him to get there. So he gets there, and he like, I just wanted to see your smile, or whatever. And we talking about absolutely nothing. About absolutely nothing. About his night. Yeah, I went here and there and did this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I tried to hit you up. I'm like, yeah, bro, you hit me up like around 11:30. I don't play that. First of all, like, be respectful, like, that's just not cool. Like, at least not with me. I'm not that type that's an on-call chick. Like, you gotta make a plan And I could be spontaneous at times, but not at 11 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Another red flag, right? So, anyway, he like, basically, conversation was surface. So I'm just like, okay, wasting my time. Probably stayed there for like 30 minutes talking to him, maybe 45 minutes talking to him about him. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm about to go because I got things to do. He's like, well, can I see you again today? Like, you know, are you going to be free? I said, oh, now you got free time? Because before you told me you had to try to find time. So now you got free time. All right, we can play the day by ear. Since you've been out all night, you should go home and get some rest, right? So, excuse me, I went about my day. Dude hit me up like around 3 o'clock. I was like, hey, what you doing? So I said, hey, I'm at the stores. He's like, oh, well, I got an hour to spare. I'm about to go get my peoples after that. I wanted to link up with you. You want to go get something to eat? I said, what? First of all, I'm not near you right now. Secondly, you want to go get something to eat within the hour before you got plans to go pick up your peoples or whatever the case may be. I said, so you trying to link up within the hour? He said, a part of the hour. So I had to laugh at that. I said, wow, so you're trying to give me 20 minutes of your hour to get something to eat. First of all, I'm vegan, bro. Ain't no vegan fast food spot to go to get something to eat. Secondly, I'm not stopping what I'm doing in the middle of my day to link up with you for 20 minutes. Absolutely not. So I said, hey, yo, that's not going to work for me. We could just play it by ear another day. So he like, oh, well, what you think we should do? Should we just wait until after I pick up my peoples? What you think? So I'm like, I think that would be best. So then he gonna say less. And I hate that word. I don't know if anybody else in the state say less, but I can't stand that term here in Philly. They be like, say less. I feel like say less is so dismissive. You could just say okay or whatever. Say less. Absolutely not. We having a conversation. So what the heck? Say less. Like, I can't stand it. I personally can't stand it. So we didn't make a time or anything. That was like around 3 o'clock. So 7 o'clock coming around, and I'm on I intermittent fast daily. So I eat between certain hours or whatever. So I haven't really been eating because I knew he wanted to go get something to eat. So I'm like, all right, let me hit the ball up to see what's up because I'm about to just cook something. I'm okay with that. So I hit him up. I'm like, hey, so what's the mood? What's up? You know. And then I text back like, you know, we could do this another day. Like, I'm about to just get something to eat, right? So he texts back like, oh, meet me at this spot around 8:30. So I said, you know what? Cool. Let's just go to the spot because I'm trying to give this dude a chance to get to know him. I'm trying to see if, because he initiated the date. He wanted to go on this date. He kept hitting me up about the date. And I'm just like, you know what? Let me be open to give him a chance to see. Because I could be like real cutthroat at times. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to be open. So I get to the spot before him. So I get the table for us. So I'm like, hey, what's up? And he like, oh, I had to go back home, but I'm back on my way. So I'm like, so now you late. So I'm just in the spot waiting. And it's a vegan junk food spot in a bar. And I'm just like, you know, I know it's like around 8:30, but I know other spots you could go to that is still health conscious and not straight like fake vegan food. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at the menu and I'm just like, now I told this dude I was a healthy person, you know, but whatever. When in Rome, I'm like, I'm going to see what I could order from here or whatever. So he finally get there. I'm like this, yeah, boy, you're late. Like, what's up? Like, you know? So he like, yeah, my bad. I had to do such and such. Whatever. Excuse, right? So I'm just checking his energy. His energy not really like flowing like that. So I'm just like, you good? Like, you cool? And he just like, yeah, I'm good. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm trying to ask him about the spot that he asked me to go to. So I'm like, have you been here before? Like, what's good? Ain't really giving me much information or communication. So I'm just like, all right. So then, you know, he like, well, I'm not gonna really get nothing too crazy. I'm not gonna get nothing too big. I'm gonna just get something small, you know. So I'm just like, oh, is that like a sign? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, oh, all right, well, I just might get this this little sandwich or whatever, because I ain't eat all day. So we order. He talking about something about, yeah, I'm gonna just get something small, because you know when you work out and stuff. But mind you, I've been talking to him all day. He ain't say nothing about going to the gym, but all of a sudden now you worked out. But okay. So then you get one of the fattest things on the menu for you to be talking about wanting to eat something small. And anyway, so I was just like, all right, so I'm trying to get to know this dude, right? So I'm just trying to ask him questions like, so what are you about? Like, who are you? What you about? Still not giving me nothing. Then we go into a whole worldly topic. So the conversation became worldly, talking about worldly things. If you guys know, I have a metaphysical shop. I'm into all types of the crystals, astrology, you know, metaphysics. I'm into that. That's me, you know. And he's not, and that's cool. Everybody's different, and I feel as though with differences, embrace people differences. But I hate when people straight say that's wrong, this is wrong, these are facts. I'm like, how you know? Like, we live in this big world, okay? We live in this big world. Embrace a person change. Embrace a person differences. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because that's your viewpoint, that don't make it my viewpoint. That's because it's your truth, that don't make it my truth. Understand it? This is a long story time. Anyway, so fast forward, we just talk about a lot of worldly things, right? So then here comes the check, right? So he like, oh, this check is $100. So I was like, how is it $100? And he like, you got half on it? I said, whatever, you know. So then he like, no, it's not $100. So what you want to do with it? I said, we could do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he like, I mean, I'll pay for it. He's like, you could just leave the tip. I said, okay. So then he was like, well, do you got like $5? So I pulled out 20. Here go my half of the bill, but here go my half, babe. There you go. If you had to pay anything towards the bill from me, it literally would be taxes. Here you go. Here go the $20. You know what I mean? Oh, you ain't got nothing low. Nope, here you go. And I'm the type of person, like, I don't have no expectations. I'm not that woman that, even if a man asks me out, just like that happened, he can easily be like, let's go Dutch, or you brought all this, you brought that. First of all, I don't overbuy. I eat and drink what I drink. I don't drink alcohol. So I got cranberry juice and I got my sandwich. And that was that. I'm like, here you go. You want me to pay for the whole bill at the end of the day? Because, bro, you asked me out. I didn't ask you out. You asked me out. Okay, whatever. So then it's time for us to go. He trying to do something else after. So I'm like, well, what's up? He like, oh, let's go near the water. Follow me. So I'm just like, all right, let me be a when in Rome type of person. So we go over near the water to this dark behind park. Now I live in Philly, y'all, Philadelphia. All right, so I'm really like this. It's a dark park. You hear me? It was. It's not like it's like street lights and a lot of people around. It was kind of sketchy, right? So I'm just already like, oh my gosh, what am I about to get myself into, right? So we go to the park. Now we still talking about worldly things, and now he talking about, oh, won't you sit close to me so we could cuddle? Bro, you ain't asked me anything about myself. I caught myself asking you about you. I even showed you, like I told you a little about myself since you ain't asked me. I showed you my metaphysical shop set up and everything. You ain't even blink an eye. You ain't compliment me about anything. Like you know how you could compliment people like, oh, you look nice today or whatever. You ain't do none of that. You ain't compliment my work ethic. You ain't do anything that showed me for real that you was interested in me as a person versus physical. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you like, oh, let's cuddle. And I'm just like, bro, I'm chilling right here. So he like, oh, well, you can sit next to me. I'm like, I'll sit next to you, but it's a cold bench, right? You could have sat next to me. You said something, I came over here and sat over here because I thought you were going to sit down. Then you switched seats, and I'm just looking at you like, this the second time you made me get up, bro. Like, come on. So he like, oh, well, if you feel like you're going to be cold on the bench, you could sit on my lap. Absolutely not. I'm not sitting on your lap. So I'm like, no, I'm going to sit on this bench. When it get a little warm, I put the little hoodie there to try to warm it up. So I sat on the bench, and he wanted to try to put his hand around me and try to kiss on me. Look, bro, like, the only thing you know about me is that my name, my age, and that I ain't got no kids and I kind of work. That's the only thing you know about me, for real, for real. You ain't take no initiative to get to know me, but you want to try to cuddle on me and kiss up on me. Like, bro, stop. So it was some weird things going on around the water and stuff. So we ended up leaving like after 30 minutes, which was fine. So we at the car, and he like trying to kiss on me. I'm like, stop, good night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to lead you on or anything, right? So then he getting a little attitude because I wasn't going along with it. That's fine. So we leave. So he ain't hit me up to see if I got home or anything. So I text and I was like, hey, I made it home safe. Thanks for linking up. Rest well. So then he's going to say, you too. Then he's going to say, I hope you enjoyed my company, and I hope we have many more to come. So I'm a realist nowadays. Before, I used to be so passive and be like, ugh. Now I just be like, look, I feel like I appreciate real communication, so I want to give you the real communication. And I try to be as tactful and honest as possible. So I was just like, I enjoyed tonight, and I enjoyed the company. But I have to be real. I didn't feel any type of romantic connection from our encounter. If you want, we could still be cool and cordial, because I don't want to, like, in the past, I've ghosted people. I mishandled the hell out of people, and that's some real stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to live there no more. I try to be real and honest with people. So I'd rather be real with you. He ain't take that well, y'all. He ain't take that well at all. So he sent me a message like, oh, but you was all cuddling on me and stuff. So I guess me being late didn't really gel with you either. Then calls me about it. So I'm looking at the phone ring, and I just answered. I'm like, hey, what's up? And he like, well, I'm trying to figure out what's up. I'm like, what you mean? Like, I told you. And he like, you didn't really give me a chance. You was already closed off. Now it's all my fault, y'all. You didn't give me a chance. You was already closed off. I was trying to show you my interest, but I guess I wasn't being aggressive enough. You look like the type that like aggression. And I'm just letting him talk. And I'm just like, I just didn't feel anything. So I'd rather be real with you. I told you from the beginning, I date with intentions. I'm not here to waste nobody's time or play any games. So I'd rather let you know up front what it is. Now, if you want to be cool and cordial still, we can, or we don't have to be. So then he like, well, you ain't feel no spark then. What could have been done differently for you to feel a spark? I ain't answer that, because you should know what could have been done. So I was like, I can't tell you I can't tell you how a spark could have been made, babe. Only thing I could do is tell you my truth. And that's how I feel. And he was in his bag about it, but he's like, all right, man, whatever, and hung up. But honestly, it was no spark, because you didn't care to know me. It was all physical. You kept saying, you beautiful. All physical. It was no substance. And that's what I'm saying. Like, dating now, you have to have some substance. Like, even if you admire a person's appearances don't last forever. So what else about me that you like? Like, don't just be Google eye and be like, oh my God, you're attractive. Okay, but I'm more than just my physical. What else do you see other than that? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just a crap show, but it made me like, it made me just feel like I did the right thing, because I could have easily just ghosted you after that, And instead, I was like, I'm gonna just be respectful and let him know, like, I enjoy your company, but I don't like you like that. Like, nothing would transpire from this. I'm not going to keep wasting time I feel like your first impression should be your best impression. Period. I'm not expecting anyone to go above and beyond or anything like that. But if you ask me on a date, I do expect you to treat me to the date. And I have no problem paying the tip. But when it comes to like money matters and stuff, that's why I'm never that woman that just go with no money. I will always make sure I have what I need and a little bit more. Period. Because I'm not her at all. I'm not expecting it either. If you do it, then that's what's up. You're showing me that you're interested. You're showing me that you're willing to court me. You're showing me that you see something of value within me that you want to truly continue to get to know. But how you move is how I move. And that wasn't the kicker for me, the date part, as far as him not paying. It was more so the worldly talks. This is your opportunity to truly get to know me, try to dig deep to see if you're really even going to like me. You know what I'm saying? And none of that happened. Even when I asked you about you, he still was giving me brief, vague answers. So I was just like to talk about, oh, well, I got this, or I've been to this person's house and I've been around this and I've been around that. But that's not telling me who you are. You know what I'm saying? So that was my story time. That date just actually happened last night. So it was fresh on my mind, y'all. So I was just like, see, this is the reason why I don't be dating these dudes for real, for real. And like, yeah, like I need substance. Like I'm a deep woman and I need depths, okay? But I don't know how y'all are. Let me ask y'all, like, what do y'all have any expectations when dating people, or like how has dating been for you in 2022? Whoever is watching this, if you guys want to interact, comment below. But like, what have you been noticing, like patterns, anything like that, men and women? Because I would love to hear a man's point of view. Because I feel like we do put a lot of pressure on men, but men always want us to treat them like men. So if you want to be treated like a man, then a man courts the woman that he's liking, right? Or if it's just straight physical, of course he's not gonna straight up say that. But like, I know that I would love to hear a man's point of view. That's all I'm saying, okay? How have dating been for y'all? All right. But this is long. My bad for my story time being long, y'all. But I wanted to give y'all the tea and just give y'all some gems. Please just date more intentional. Be careful who you sleep with, because that's the energy that you're going to keep. So sleep with people intentionally and date them intentionally. Don't have a moment of weakness. Stand strong on your values. Stand strong on your boundaries and your standards. And you could be a little bit flexible, but just make sure you're not flexible to the point where you don't have them. All right. So peace, love, and light, guys. Until next time.